we're going to look at arm arcs, and we're going to look at these particularly in double arm to start with. So grab some pillows because you might need them for the back of your head, and we're going to come down to lie on your mat. So what I mean by you might need them for your head is we're looking to achieve sort of 3 heavy points in the back of you. So this is coming back to your spine neutral. So you should feel like the back of your tailbone is on the floor, the back of your ribs, the lowest part of your chest is on the floor, and then the back of your head. So I'm actually resting on my ponytail here, but this is where you might want some pillows or something like that. So it just brings your head a little bit further forwards. And that will just depend on what your normal posture is like. And I'm just going to get you to settle there for a minute. And you're going to just have your hands on your lowest pelvis, just to feel if you can let go a little bit more through your sit bones and spread through the back of you. So this is the bit that's touching the mat, as well as the base of you, so the bit that's sort of facing your feet. And with your feet, you're going to see if you can walk them in line with your sitting bones. So this doesn't necessarily mean closer to, but it means still a comfortable distance away. It's just the width and space between them. So again, just have yourself here. And I want you to take a few big breaths. So you're going to just take a big breath in through your nose, try and expand all the way down into your tummy, and then a big breath out through your nose. So we're going to keep that breath going through your nose. Now, if you want a little bit more support, you can go through your mouth. That will just help increase some of the intra-abdominal pressure and make it a little bit more supportive for you. So what I'm going to get you to do to start is take those hands up towards the ceiling, and you're going to bring those hands together. And I want you to focus on what's happening in the back of you. So your hands are lower than your shoulders, and your palms are facing each other, hands together. So if I say close your eyes and really focus on your shoulder blades. From here, you're going to gently and slowly start to take your arms apart, and you're going to feel the point at which your shoulder blades just settle onto the floor and onto your mat. And if you take your hands down to your hips, you might find that your hands are just slightly wider than your hips. Now that's a normal position. That's how we stand. That's how we often walk. So take those hands back up again. And again, see if you can find that place where your shoulder blades just come back around your rib cage and settle onto the bed. And at the same time, just let gravity sink your arm down into the socket. And that might mean that you bend your elbow a little bit. That's not the end of the world. So we're going to move from here. And I don't mind how you do it, but you're going to start to take your thumbs over your head down towards the floor. And then you're going to bring your hands back up towards the ceiling. And you're going to do that again. So focus on the back of your rib cage as you do this. So have you gone into big extension? Have you arched your back in order to take your hands above your head? Or have you managed to keep the back of your ribs quiet? So just do a few of those for me. And what I want you to feel is those 3 heavy spots. So back of your head, back of your ribs, back of your tail is staying the same. And those shoulders are just rolling in the socket. So keep going in your own time. Now see if you can notice the bony bit on the top of your shoulder blade. And you'll feel this bone touching the floor. And we want that bit to stay roughly into the floor, but it's moving as you do this movement. So that when you get your hands back up to the ceiling, that sense of your shoulder just dropping into the socket is still there. So this movement should be easy. It doesn't matter if you can't touch the floor, so I can't touch the floor. If I want to go to touch the floor, I'm going to come into that extension through my rib cage, through my back, because I've run out of shoulder range of movement. So find where your range is and play around with where your arms are. So how wide they are, how narrow they are, and how easy you can make this. So again, we're using that exhale if you want a little bit more stability to go over your head, and that inhale to come back. And on your next one, we're going to take those hands all the way down to your hips. So those hands are now down to your hips, palms facing your hips. And I want you to see if you can do this movement through the whole of your range. So we're going to take those arms up to the ceiling. You're going to feel your arm bone, your arm just rolling in the socket as it starts to go back over your head. Pause when you feel those 3 heavy bits move. And as you breathe out, see if you can come from the back of your arms, so almost those armpit muscles, to start to bring you all the way back down towards the floor. And again, just keep going in your own time. And remember, this is not a huge movement. You shouldn't be feeling crazy amounts, but what we're looking for is that your shoulder blade can move through this whole range. We want your shoulder blade to move. You're not trying to force it stuck. You're not trying to keep everything still, but you're just allowing it to roll and glide and slide on your rib cage so your arms can simply move around your body. So you're just going to go one more for me there. And then as you just bring your hands all the way back up, take your hands back down again and take a pause. Well done.